Hey y'all, thanks so much for tuning in to the very first episode of the Live with Audacity podcast. Today I'm talking to Brandy Smith, and she's going to tell us all about how to get out of our own way and step into who we are called to be. Our conversation was so incredible, and Brandy ends up having a moment where she's processing a revelation in real time. So don't go anywhere, it's pretty incredible. You're listening to the Live with Audacity podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Stewart. Audacity is defined by Merriam-Webster as intrepid boldness or disregard for normal constraints. And that's exactly what we have here. The Live with Audacity podcast is aimed at giving you the courage to explore your someday dreams, do things your way, and start making things happen in your life right now. I'm a mama to 4 kiddos ranging from college student to kindergartner, wife to a high school football and track coach, and a multi-passionate entrepreneur. Together with my guests, we're going to teach you how to live with audacity and intentionality, discover and utilize your unique skills and talents, and step into who you are meant to be in order to make your someday dreams a reality. Are you ready? Here we go. All right. Hey, everybody. We've got Brandy Smith on today. And Brandy is someone that I met years ago in high school. We were on drill team together. And, we've been following each other on Facebook for a couple of years. And the reason I brought Brandy on today is because we're going to talk about how to get out of your own way. A lot of times we tend to get in our own heads and we don't even really realize that we're doing that. So, Brandy is a multi-level marketer for a CBD oil company. And I'm so excited to have her here because we have so much to talk about today. Brandy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yay, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Melissa, so much for asking me to join. This is my first podcast, so I'm super pumped. And so a little bit about myself. Like she said, my name is Brandy Smith. I have been successfully doing network marketing for only a year and a half, which is crazy
That's
to
wild.
me. I know. And I was that person years ago that if I got contacted by a network marketer, I was kind of like, oh, I don't even want to get on the phone with this person. So it's crazy to be where I'm at today. I have 2 teenagers, which says a lot about me. I'm just kidding. And I am happily married. I've been married to my husband for we're fixing to celebrate our 5-year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Okay. So how did you really get into this business that you're in? How did you choose this particular one or feel like it was the one that was right for you?
I can honestly say I feel like this chose me. I was not looking for a network marketing company to join. Although I didn't realize how much it kind of coincided with my life a couple years ago. So this business in particular found me because I went through a health journey, and I didn't think that I would be on a health journey at all. I got cervical cancer probably about 34. I guess I was 34. And that came caused by a device I had implanted that was a birth control device, like a permanent birth control device. And I had that put in shortly after my son was born. So he was born in 2006. I want to say around 2010, I had this thing implanted. And then several years later, it ended up getting black boxed, and which means like it's under, I don't know, the FDA is like taking a look at it because maybe it has bad stuff inside of it. So that led to a hysterectomy, a at a young age. And like I said, I had just met my husband, um, and I was at this place where maybe I thought I wanted more children, and that was taken away from me. And then that led to some autoimmune diseases, and that led to me looking for an alternative to medication, prescription drugs. And that's what led me to CBD. And I was not looking, like I said, I wasn't looking for a network marketing company at all. And that just kind of fell in my lap because the CBD I found that was the purest was with a network marketing company. And I thought, I always was negative to all these people that ever tried to do this. I just don't think I can be successful in it. But I joined it because the product changed my life. And I knew that I had to share it with people. And that was all that I cared about. Like all the other negative thoughts that I had always thought for years kind of left at that point.
Wow. Okay. So how did CBD help you specifically?
So I felt like every time I went to the doctor and I told them something that was going on, they just got their little pad and paper out and wrote a prescription. And it's all like a guessing game. Even to the doctors, I feel like it's kind of a guessing game. Well, let's try this drug and see if it helps. And
Mm-hmm.
so here I was, like 30 pills in front of me, and I still was hurting. Like I have, just like joint discomfort and um, stuff like that. I guess mostly would be like the biggest,
Okay.
and that just brings like depression, anxiety. Your body hurts all the time. Who wants to go through that, right?
Right.
Just put you in this negative mindset. Um, and then so I have all these pills, and I was getting scared because I was taking like one didn't help. So I would take two, even though the bottle said one. And I never got to the point where I felt like I was needing, like, what's the word? Not like needing them all the time, like
Addicted.
addicted to
Right.
them.
Yeah.
But I was taking more than I should take, and I was just sleeping all the time because then I wasn't hurting. You know what I mean?
Right. Totally.
So for me, the biggest thing, of course, CBD helps with some of my pain but for me, the biggest thing it has done, it has taken me off of all prescription medication. So I am able to live now, live again. I mean, I don't have this huge fog over me because I'm taking these drugs. And it's not even just the fog, it's the fact that you're like, you have to wake up and you have to swallow pills. And then a few hours later, you have to swallow more pill.
Yeah.
It's like this thing that like consumes your life. And so the more research I did, and I, figured out that our body naturally makes CBD, and we just don't make enough of it. And so I was just blown away by all the information that we've not ever been told, like that's been kept from us. And it just helped me get off all of the medicine. That's the biggest thing it did for me.
Okay. So you're off all your medicine altogether.
I do not take any I don't take any man-made drug. I don't even take Tylenol or Advil.
Oh,
Nothing.
wow. That's
Yeah, yeah.
awesome.
So I mean, I take like turmeric and black pepper. I take organic stuff now, and of course, the cleaner I eat, the better I feel. I think it's a whole. It's all everything that you do. You got to get up and
Absolutely.
exercise and eat well, and of course, do I eat clean all the time? No, I'm human. I eat bad, but I pay for it. I feel bad for, a day or whatever. I'm like, ugh. But
Totally. So I will actually say that because of my relationship with Brandy on Facebook online, my husband decided to try CBD oil for focus, and then our third son has
mm,
ADHD and undiagnosed oppositional defiance disorder. And so we decided that we were going to try it for him after my husband really enjoyed it and liked it, and it made him feel better. So I'll be honest, the first 2 weeks that we tried CBD oil for my son, He came home with a whole week full of stamps, and his teacher reached out to me
Yay.
and said, I don't know
That
what's
makes me
going
happy.
on, but things are so much better this week. Yeah, and so I'll say that, of course, I understand and he understands that it is not the end all be all. We still have to do the other things like eating cleaner, making sure he gets enough
Mm.
sleep, um, very, very, very limited electronic and TV use for him. But it was a huge, huge help for us to take off the edge so that we could actually have a conversation with him and reason with him a little bit better.
Wow.
Because before CBD oil, there was no way that we could do that. None at all. What are some other people telling you about CBD that has helped them?
Man, that's the amazing thing is that it's amazing, and it makes other people a little bit skeptical because you hear such a wide range of health benefits. So I mean, I have ton of customers who chilled your stories just like yours. I had a mom who has a very autistic son, and he is nonverbal, and he's been nonverbal for like 7 years. And she started researching CBD, and like all of us, you just start ordering because you don't know what you're looking for and you're not sure. And when she found our pure CBD oil that I'm partnered with, her son actually started speaking small words, and he was able to tell her he loved her. And so
Oh,
that message to me was almost like my biggest one. Just my son said he loved me for the first time. Can you imagine having a 7-year-old, and you haven't heard them really speak yet, like say words? I just was bawling. So it's stuff like that, all the way to older person that hasn't been able to open a jar for many years because their hands are just not working anymore. And they're able to do
mhm.
that now. They're able to open a jar by themselves. So a lot of times it's the simplest thing to the biggest thing. And that's why to me it's so incredible. And I don't sell a product. I just educate people because for so many years, anything that was derived from cannabis was wrong. I mean, we grew up with it
Mhm.
being wrong. You don't even talk about it. If you talk about it, then you're looked upon negatively. And so we were not educated, none of us. And we could talk about that all day, but look, our bodies naturally make it, and when we give our body CBD and open those receptors up, that's why you see such a wide range of people being helped, because it's balancing out so many things that our bodies need to be balanced, and those receptors have been closed off. So it's the little things, and then it's big things, and it's daily that I get messages. It's like I love it. It just fills me up every single day.
Yes, that's so awesome. So awesome. Okay, so I know that before we got on the call, we were kind of talking about your event that you went to this weekend
Yes.
and talking about figuring out how to get out of your own way and get out of your own head and the things that are holding you back. So tell me a little bit about what you kind of realized this
Oh my
weekend.
gosh.
And
Yes.
I
This
know, I
weekend.
know. I'm very excited to hear about
Okay,
this.
so I did my first, like I said when we first got on, I've only been doing network marketing for a year and a half, and I did not think I would be here. So I finally booked this weekend. I booked it a few months ago. I think I did it in January, actually. It was a summit. It was Growth and Impact and Growth Summit, and it was with a network marketer trainer, or an influencer, I guess you would call him. His name is Bob Hylick. And I went this weekend. It was the very first time I've ever done something like this. And I was thinking that it was going to be all about network marketing. And I was very fast. My mind was like, as I was bawling, I was like, oh my gosh, this has got me digging deep into myself. What have I gotten myself into? Because I was like, I did not think this was going to be like this. But after 3 days of conference, I am at this place where my mind is blown, and I didn't realize that I was holding myself back and thinking that I wasn't good enough, because I know that I'm good enough, but my mind really has me question myself sometimes. But I feel like we all kind of do that.
For sure. So how do you question yourself? Like what are some things that are in your head that you didn't even really realize were holding you back?
Well, I mean, the fact that, okay, I'm a network marketer, right? So I have to share my life to other people. And I was always so scared to show something negative, because I don't want to hear other people's negative things, but there's a way to be real and not be a victim, I guess. And I didn't realize that.
Mhm.
So for me, I still have days where I doubt myself. I still have days where maybe I'm not feeling great. And I don't want to share that with the world, because I want to be like happy all the time. Um, but
Mhm.
I don't think that that's real. Like you even told me earlier when we were talking, you're like, but you never seem unhappy. I'm like, but I am. I just never share that.
Right. I totally told you I have no idea what in the world could be holding you back because it doesn't seem like anything holds you back, which is totally one of the reasons I wanted to have you on here. So I'm so glad we're talking about
Yes.
this.
So it was my mind. Honestly, the only thing that holds me back is myself. And
Amen.
but so many times we tell ourselves like, it's not me that's holding me back. Like, my kids are keeping me busy, my kids are holding me back, or I have to go do this, so that's holding me back. But really, that's what I kind of had the aha moment this weekend, was kind of like, nope. You let every excuse come in because you don't want to dig down deep. It's really me. It's me thinking I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for other people to want to listen to me. Like, what do I have to offer when I am? And I just need to tell that to myself more, because we all are.
Right. I would agree with that. Yeah, it's funny when I decided to launch this podcast and for a long time I thought, well, everyone's doing a podcast or no one's going to want to listen to what I have to say
Right.
or no one's going to want to hear my weird voice. But at the same time it's like, okay, well no one else is doing it. Really, I don't know anyone in my in my real life or
Right.
in my circle that's doing this. So really not everyone is doing it. And B, if people don't want to hear it, they don't have to hear it. It's not like I'm shoving it in their face,
Exactly.
but if they do and they get something out of it, then here we
Exactly.
go.
It's like, you have to get out of your head and say, I'm the only person that thinks that I don't want to hear myself. Like, I was telling my friend, I watch these women that I don't even know on my social media. And you know how you have that story option. And these women all they do is just talk about their life. And it's like a sitcom. I love it. Like, I actually wake up
Yeah.
and I want to know what they're doing that day. And then I was
I mean, they didn't make Jersey Shore for no
right.
reason,
So,
okay?
and then I thought, well, okay, because you hold yourself back because you think, who wants to hear what I have to say, or who wants to hear about my life?
Or that I'm going to Starbucks today
Exactly.
or getting the kids snow cones.
But
I
those
know.
other women that are doing it, or men, or whoever, they don't have to be women, those other people that are doing it, they just told themselves, I don't care if someone's listening, I'm just going to share. And here they are touching my life, and they don't even know it.
Right.
So this weekend, once I was like, I am good enough, I am enough to just share. I don't care who's listening. I don't care if nobody's listening, if it makes me feel better. And if one person hears your podcast, or if one person hears my story and they get something from it, then I feel like we've accomplished what we've come on this earth to do.
Absolutely. I had a revelation several months ago and because I have kind of been through that journey too of like, what am I called to do? What am I supposed to do? And finally, I just realized, hello, Melissa, you are supposed to be serving other
Yes.
people in the best way that you
Yes.
can. And my deepest passion is wanting to get people to understand that they can do whatever they want in their entire life. So that is my service to others. So therefore, this podcast exists purely for that reason.
I love
Um,
it. And you
yeah.
just made me have another revelation when you said that because, okay, so I'm going to back up my life to, I don't know, I don't know what year, but several years ago. And I was in a failing marriage. And oh my gosh, I'm just like having this whole revelation as I'm like, oh my
In
gosh,
real
it's so crazy.
time, it's
Yes, in
happening.
real time. Okay, so I'm I'm coming to clarity with, this marriage of so many. I was married for 11 years and it was coming to an end. And I knew for many years that it was. And I was the one that stepped up and took the courage and, and beat myself up and still I'm just now letting all of that go.
Mhm.
And so I get divorced and I have 2 kids and I'm not knowing what the heck I'm going to do with my life. But the one thing that I know that I need is exercise. Like that, and not that I need, but that's the one outlet that I took at
Mhm.
that stage in my life. And I decided to become a personal trainer and a CrossFit trainer. And so here I was competing in CrossFit competitions. I became a level 1 trainer. Then I became a level 2 trainer. Then I got my certification to help kids CrossFit train. And I felt like I had found my passion and what God put me on this earth to do. He put me on this earth to motivate people. He put me on this earth to get people to realize that they're good enough and that they matter. And then I get sick. And that whole story that I shared a little bit earlier. And
Mhm.
that whole existence of myself was wiped away. It was taken from me. And it, I was like, I was so mad at God. I was like, what are you doing? I had finally found what you wanted me to do, what you put me on this earth to do, and you took it away from me. Like, why did you do that? And that's when all the prescription drugs came in and the fogginess and I didn't realize until shortly into my CBD journey that he did it all for a reason. I was just mad at him for so long. But that is what has been holding me back this whole time. The fact that I was at that place and I felt like I had a purpose and then I lost it. And now I'm trying to regain it. Like, do I really have what it takes to do that again? Or I don't know, maybe I'm scared that he's going to take it away again.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So it's funny that you're bringing this up. I actually had a friend of mine send me a sermon yesterday. It's Stephen Furtick, and it is a sermon on impossible prisons or invisible prisons. And basically, he talks about our expectation of God
Mm,
and that we always have these expectations of who he is and what he's
what
going to
he's going
do
to
for
do.
us. Right.
Yeah.
Well, but because we have those expectations, when things don't go our way, it's very difficult for us to understand that it's incredibly possible and usually likely that he has a very zoomed out, bigger plan for us and a bigger journey for us than even we can comprehend.
Yeah.
And so we have to stop. Yes, we want to expect and have that faith that he's going to do huge things for us, but we have to stop expecting that they're going to be the way that we expect them to be. He is inhuman, so he's not seeing things in a linear time place
Right.
the way that we are, right? It's a totally different thing, and we just have to have that faith and let him do his thing and just understand that he always has it. he's always
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
So, man, so glad you brought that up. Very
Oh
cool.
man. I'm like, maybe I mean, I know that he had a bigger hit. I see something bigger, and this platform of network marketing is so much bigger than just my little hometown of trying to grab clients to train in my immediate area, you know? So now
Mhm.
I'm like, yes. Like at first I was questioning, well, is that not what because I thought that I had figured it out. And then he's like, nope, I
Just
have
kidding,
something
girl.
bigger. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let's figure this part out. I got to let some stuff go so that I can open up this even more.
Yeah, and it is so hard to have that faith in those moments too, right? Because you're just like, I feel so down and out. Um, Man, that's such a great story. I love it so much.
Yay. I'm like
Um,
sweating over here. I'm happy
that's
tears coming down.
fantastic. I love that. Not that you're sweating, but that it's moving you.
Yes.
So what has been your biggest win in your business?
I would say my biggest win is the story that I have. The fact that it's changed my life. So people can feel that. They hear it in my voice, they see it. Uh, I think I had someone the other day contact my husband and say, you would never know that your wife has been through what she's been through if she didn't share it. And I wouldn't have found the product that you have if she wouldn't have shared it. So can you thank her for me? And I don't think I realize um, the impact that I have by sharing my story, but it moves me and makes me want to share it even more. So I think just what it's done for me is my biggest um, attribute. But of course, small things matter too, like finding a great company at the beginning stages and a good compensation plan. Those things help. But the biggest thing
Right.
is just um, if you find something that changed your life, then share it with other people because it will bring grace back to you.
That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so where is your business headed now, or what are you working on that you're excited about?
Gosh, so that's a great question. For my business and my team, I see big things, and not for me, but I see big things for other people. I think I personally grow, and it fills me up to see other people to see other people succeed, even when they think that they are not meant to be leaders or successful in a business. Um, and I also see myself kind of not just like it doesn't have to be with the company that I'm in, but I see myself helping other people um, believe in themselves to get to a next chapter. So for my business, I know it's going to grow and grow, and my personal one, and our team's going to go to the millions, and we're going to have. I just want lots of successful people, but I see myself maybe tapping into this whole like traveling the world and training other people. I don't know. When I say it out loud, I think, am I good enough to do that? And then I need to look in the mirror and be like, heck yeah, I'm good enough to do that.
That's exactly right. Because I'll be honest, you just even being able to follow you on Facebook is it's highly motivating, highly inspirational, and
Oh,
so
thank you
yeah, I
for
mean, I
that.
think wherever you take your message, it's
Thank
going to
you.
be great for sure. Okay, so last few minutes, let's do a rapid
Ooh.
fire. A book, article, person, or talk that has changed your life.
Okay, rapid fire. So the person that has changed my life recently, I'm going to go with recently, is my husband. Because like I said earlier, when you fell in a relationship, and it's not really I don't know if I'm going to call it failing, when you go through a relationship that didn't work for whatever reason, sometimes you feel like you're not qualified to do relationship stuff. um, and then this man comes into my life, and he is my biggest motivator. He tells me every single day, 100 times a day, that I have greatness inside of me. And if I am feeling like I just don't think that I have what it takes to be what I want to be, he is like the person that's like, no, you have beyond what it takes. This is what you're meant to be. And so he, to me, is my biggest motivator. And I'm so blessed that God brought him into my life.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. When husbands are so supportive,
It makes a big difference, right?
it's huge. It's huge. It's the most beautiful blessing that we can have is a supportive husband because let me tell
Men
you.
don't, I know. Well, men don't realize if you're sitting and you're wondering why your wife's not achieving things that you would love for your wife to be achieving, a lot of times you have to take a look. And that can go both ways as why, like if your husband is not at a place and you want more greatness for your husband, then we need to look at ourselves and make sure that we're giving our spouse what they need to be great.
Absolutely. I would totally agree with that. 100%. Okay, so what's your favorite Friday night at home?
Oh gosh. Pizza. Okay, pizza or a hamburger. Because I like both of those a lot. And a movie. Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
yes. With a beer,
Of
right?
course, you got to have a beer.
My favorite Friday nights
Yeah.
are pizza and beer too, so that's the only reason I said that. Okay, what was your dream job as a
I wanted to
kid?
be a professional dancer on Broadway.
Oh my god, shut up! I never knew
Yeah.
that about you. Not joking, my dream job as a kid was to be a Radio City
Really?
Rockette. That's so crazy. Yeah,
I
and that
don't
was
care what
fun.
Broadway show, I wanted to dance on Broadway. Like I never saw myself singing, which is weird that I say Broadway, but like I guess a dancer on stage. There were a few years in those New Kids on the Block era that I wanted to just be a backstage dancer or whatever, but or whatever.
Right, totally. We should totally, hook back up offline, that way we can talk more about that. Um, okay, so what's the next vacation that you and your family
Oh
are
my gosh,
planning together? I know you guys just bought, like, a
we
camper,
did.
right?
So we just started a YouTube channel. My husband and I were going to go, we're going to be professional RVs, full-time RVers. And that wasn't going to start, well, that's still not going to start full-timing until our youngest graduates high school. So we have 5 more school years left. But we kept telling ourselves, why are we waiting to get a camper? Our kid, we only have 2 summers left with our daughter, and then she is going to college. And I was like, let's do it now. I mean, I've succeeded enough in the business that I could pay for us to get a camper already. And so we were like, you know what? We're going to do this. But so now we have a camper and we have a lot of trips, little trips in the US already set out to be. But I'm going to tell you, because when you asked that question, I was so excited. I was telling my friend yesterday, I thought that I would never be able, when my kids were at home in the 18 years that we get them at home with us full time, I never thought I would be able to afford to fly on an airplane with them somewhere ever. And this last year has given me the opportunity that I was able to book a all-inclusive resort vacation, and we leave in 12 days from today.
Where are you
So
going?
we're going to Mexico. We're going to Cancun.
Awesome.
But I've never been on an airplane with my kids. So my daughter's going to turn 16 and on June 9th. So she has a couple of weeks till her birthday. And yeah, and so I
What?
was like, for her 16th birthday, I saved enough money. Like, do you want to go? Can we go on family vacation for your birthday? She's like, yes, please. So I don't even care that we're going. Like, I'm so excited to see my kids' face. I've never seen them on an airplane ever. So I've never been. I get to see their face for the first time to get on an airplane with them. We've never been to like a blue water beach. So I am so
That's
excited
awesome.
and blessed to be able to just experience firsts with them because like I never went on a vacation like that with my parents growing up. So the first time I ever experienced those things in my life was as an adult without them. And I just had put in my head that that's how it was going to be for me. Like the first time my daughter was going to go to a tropical island or a vacation to another place was going to be like when she got married, for her honeymoon or whatever, because I wasn't going to be able to do that with them.
Well, that's
But
so
I changed
exciting. That's so
I
exciting.
know. I'm so excited.
Okay, last couple of questions. Best advice to help our listeners live with audacity.
Tell yourself every day that you're a freaking rock star.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally, because those affirmations you have to tell them, because no one else is going to tell them to you.
Well, it doesn't matter a lot of times it doesn't matter what everybody else tells us. If we don't believe it,
Right.
ourselves, everybody can tell me all day long I'm a badass, but unless I actually believe I'm a badass, then I'm not going to
Right.
I'm not going to
You're not
believe
going to
it.
hear them. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
where can people find you to get more info?
So a couple places and I guess it's kind of hard to give like my social media. Maybe we can put I don't know if you can put links when we post this, but
Yeah, for sure. I'll put links in the show notes.
I have Instagram and Facebook, of course, are my biggest two social media platforms, Brandy Smith. And then I also have a website, of course, for CBD, and that is www.b, the letter B, number 2, hemp.com.
Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on. I had so much fun with you, and I think this was really great, and I hope people got a lot out of it.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me on, and I'm so excited for you. Many, many blessings on your podcast, and I would love to come back on anytime.
Absolutely. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you.
Did you love this episode of the Live with Audacity podcast as much as I did? I know you did. So if that's true, please head on over to iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe, leave me a review. Please let me know how I'm doing, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.